Zaine Stevens from Politically Active OTC. This is Judy Brunner running for School Board in Springfield, Missouri. Alright, so the first question is very basic. We're going to start with, why did you decide to run for School Board?
Yeah, it's something that I've given a lot of thought to. I'm a career educator. I've given my whole professional life to Springfield Public Schools, and I just believe I'm at the point in my personal and professional life when I'm ready to contribute to the community in yet one more way. And I'm very familiar with Springfield Public Schools, having worked really across the community, having worked at Wilder and Reed and Parkview and Central and Pershing. And it's not a one-size-fits-all district, and I think I have some unique credentials that really have prepared me for this next step.
All right. Well, how do you feel your campaign is going?
It's busy. It's very busy. And some of the folks that have come by to ask me questions are asking how it's going, and it's very positive. The community has been more than generous in terms of requesting signs and being willing to volunteer and canvass, make phone calls, contribute financially. It's really been a very heartwarming experience in many ways. And the outreach to me has been just incredible, and I don't take any of it for granted. I've been lucky to be endorsed by the NEA, by the MSTA, by the firefighters, by the Labor Council, by the pipe fitters and plumbers, and by the Teamsters. And so there are a lot of really good organizations out there that have listened to what I have to offer and think that it's a good thing.
You got a lot of endorsements.
I did.
All right, so what do you bring to the table that's unique from maybe other candidates that gives you an advantage over them?
Sure. Well, one of the things that I've done since the year 2000, that's been a while now, is not only have I been working in the schools, but I have a small business. I have a business called EduSafe and Instructional Solutions Group, and in that capacity, I have literally traveled our wonderful, wonderful country and trained superintendents and counselors and teachers and administrators in how to provide a safe school environment. I do a lot of work with crisis planning and management for schools. I do a lot of work with de-escalating angry conversations, because sometimes that comes into a school building too. And then I also do a lot of work with reading comprehension, vocabulary development. One of the things that people really don't know about me is that I have either authored or co-authored 9 different books on how to teach reading and how to support kids with literacy. So I think those kinds of credentials really make me stand out and maybe look just a little different. And one of my main campaign pillars is the safe school thing. I think you've got to feel safe in a school building, and then you have to be safe. And those two things are somewhat different.
Experience. All right, so a little bit more substantive.
Sure.
Proposition S is on the ballot. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of this bond issue, and there are a lot of reasons for that. First and foremost, it's a no tax increase bond. I would not have been supportive had it asked for a tax increase. I don't think that's the time. This is the time to ask the public to do that. But taxes won't change one way or the other. A lot of good can come from it. Reed Middle School was built in 1921. It needs a new site. It needs a new plant. Pipkin in 1923, it needs some structural changes. Neither of those buildings are really handicapped accessible in the way that it needs to be in 2023. Pershing will get a bit of an overhaul. It's been sitting out there for a while needing some things. And the fact that we can provide for those kinds of opportunities with bond money, then we don't have to take the funds from the general revenue. And we can save general revenue for salaries and benefits and professional development and those kinds of things.
Perfect. Best not to raise taxes.
Yeah, it's best not to raise taxes. I'm fiscally conservative. I really am. I think when you're dealing with the public's money, you have to be very careful with that. You have to be good stewards of that and make sure that you're spending money with limited resources in a school. You have to make sure you're spending money on the right things.
Yes. All right. A little bit more controversial. School vouchers and school choice. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. We don't fully fund the public education now, and so Missouri ranks either 49th or 50th in terms of teacher salaries, and that's nothing to be proud of, I will tell you. So to actually divert funds from the public school and move it over to private, I'm not in favor of that. But one of the things that I really do support, in Springfield Public Schools, we have school choice. Whatever school you want to go to, provided they're not at capacity, you can attend there. So we really do have options of choice in Springfield, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Oh, my phone did the same thing it did last time. It turned off on me as I was listening. All right, so COVID question has to be asked, since we're, people believe we're in a post-COVID world. Experts think that there might be another strain or might be another flare-up at some point in time. If that were to happen, what do you think we should do as our school board? Sorry, what do you think our school board should do in that, shutting it down or finding a new solution?
I think that those are complicated issues, and in the school business, we need to listen very carefully to what our county health officials tell us. They're in a position to have the most recent information, the most accurate information, and we need to take their recommendations. I didn't want to wear a mask. I didn't want to not go to school, but you do what you have to do to stay safe and healthy. So I think in the school district you have to follow the lead of our county health officials and see what they recommend. And I don't know what the future holds in terms of a pandemic. Honestly, I probably couldn't have even defined pandemic 15 years ago, but we can all define it now, can't we?
Yes, completely. All right. I'll skip that one. Book banning nationwide.
Yes.
This is the last question. It's, I think, one of the most controversial. It's happening nationwide, but it's also happening on state and local levels. And I would just like to clarify I would like you to clarify your stance on it.
Sure. And it's an important question because when you put the terms book and ban together, emotions get very high on both sides of that issue. And I've really tried to listen really carefully to what people are saying about that, and I pride myself in trying to find common ground that people can really both embrace. So when I listen to people talk about that, what I hear a good many of them saying, and it makes a lot of sense to me, is that books need to be age appropriate, and as long as they're age appropriate, that should be fine. I will tell you that with the national conversations that we're having about that, as well as local conversations, I think our sensitivities have certainly been raised as far as that's concerned. But I think really what the public wants, and I don't disagree with this, is make sure that the books are age appropriate and then let it go from there. But it also, you should note that in Springfield Public Schools, if a parent takes issue with a text or with an assignment, we will readily offer an alternative there with no penalty for the grade or anything like that. So we really do try to come up with solutions where we work with parents to find something that is more in terms of what they want for their child.
That's perfect. That's all I have for you.
All right. Did it work?